Hello everyone, I'm Pedro. Nice to see all these faces here. Today I have a talk about breaking through into the game industry. This is also a talk that unfortunately is relevant for people that have lost jobs recently or are looking for something new. And the reason that I decided to do it is because I've been coming to these events for a long time and I meet a lot of people that are looking for a job. If I tell them that I have an indie studio, they're like, oh, are you hiring? So, as indies, we gotta keep the cash flow coming. So I thought it would be relevant for tonight. A little bit about myself. I'm Pedro, nice to meet you. I've worked in a few titles like Gears of War, Halo Infinite, some lesser known like Stella. I was also a teacher at Vancouver Film School. And I am currently, I think more important than all, I'm currently on my second game studio. So I've been hired and I've hired more than 40 people in the past. So this talk goes on things that you need to do if you want to get hired. Soulcraft is my current studio. We actually opened the company this week, so very happy with that. Partner. I'm very happy about that because doing it yourself is very hard. Let's dive into it. So the three things you need to get a job. One is portfolio. So this is going to be to showcase your technical ability and only add your best work to your portfolio. If you have 100 game jams under your belt, you can put on a resume, I did 100 game jams, but don't put 100 game jams on your website. Put the best thing. It's just like a video game. A video game is only as good as the worst part of the game. A lot of people, that's an amazing game, but the audio is bad. What you see online, oh, the audio is bad. So treat your portfolio like that. Only at your best work. Keep it professional, keep it clean. And this is very important, show process and not results. Especially when I'm looking for juniors, I want to see how you think, how you got to that result. If you show me something that looks amazing, how can I tell if it was really you that did it? What was your role in that team? What were you doing there? So, show process. This can be a website, can be a YouTube video, but it must be easy access. And again, keep it clean, keep it professional. The second part, and I think this is where a lot of people in our industry don't take this one serious or don't see the value in it, is the communication skills. So you have to have a perfect 1-minute intro. You gotta tell me, who are you? Why are you here? What makes you special? Why? Where does your passion come from? So not just from you, but communication is important, so you understand what they are looking for. What is the problem that the company is trying to solve, and how are you the perfect person to solve that problem? You gotta research the company, you gotta research the game, you gotta come in the interview knowing where you are, knowing what that company does. Have stories ready. If you have ever been interviewed, they're gonna ask you, oh, can you tell me about a time where you had conflict in the team? How did you react? Don't improvise. Be ready for that. This is part of the interview. It's part of your job to be ready for this. So, communication skills. Practice, practice, practice. I've practiced this talk before coming here. I've practiced my 1-minute intro 1,000 times. I've practiced my game pitches thousands of times as well. I can recite it instantly. So, don't leave it to chance. The third part, only a few points here, is network. You're doing it. We live in a small industry. I come here and I know a lot of faces. And a referral is worth 1,000 words. So if you get a referral, it's much more likely than you're gonna get into, get a position, right? So portfolio, I have an example here of a portfolio. This is from Aline Pafaro, is a UI UX designer. And we can see, this is the entrance of our website, and you can see how clean it is, right? Up top you have games, web app, playground, you know where you want to click, you have all the games that she's worked on. You know, very easy to navigate, professional, clean. And when it gets interesting, when we click here on, for example, Marvel of Champions, you can see, I mean, she's a UI UX designer, so she's amazing. But you can see, you know, the company, the team, how she's framing, how she shows process. What was the problem she was trying to solve? What's the hypothesis? What the challenges, the solutions? So this is a great portfolio. I left the link down there. Feel free to dig through it. Communication. This is just a level designer open position that I found, you know, last night. And I've highlighted a couple things. If I had more time, I would ask you what is the common denominator into these blue things. But I'm going to give you the answer. These are all soft skills. Good communication, good interpersonal skills, good analytical skills, positive attitude, ability to work in a highly collaborative team event. We are not making games alone. We are part of a team, and that is ultra important in game development. Just like Doug was saying before. So the interview process. I want to get this point across for people that are anxious about getting interviewed. They want to hire you as much as you want to get hired. I've been in that position and, you know, I need that person, I need to hire someone, so just go there, be excited about the position. For juniors, you're here to execute and follow orders, not innovate. You must understand what they need, and you need to know yourself and tell your stories. So this is the interview here. Usually it starts with a phone call, be excited, know the company, tell your story. Go into HR interview, highlight the company value. So you read on the website, oh, we value productivity. Wow, you're a productive person today. Tell them you can do your job, that's important as well, right? They're like, yeah, I can do that, I've done something similar in the past, I'm excited about it. The technical test, this is another big tip. I was hired, one of the big jumps in my career was a multiplayer level designer in Gears of War. And I hadn't played Gears of War ever in my life again. What I did is went to YouTube, I watched all the videos of Gears of War maps, and then I just took sections from different maps that I really liked and created my own map that was just a mashup of different maps of Gears of War. And it ended up being a good map. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing something right because I was copying from them. So on technical tests, especially on design tests, stuff like that, look what the company does. You're not going to be able to create a whole game by yourself in 2 days, right? So it's fine to take from them. Then you're going to meet the team, research them on LinkedIn, lower your anxiety, maybe you see a few faces there. And on director interview, just be respectful, show that you won't steer shit up. You know, it's important not to be an asshole, it's important to show them that you're there to be part of the team and really let them know that you are here to help them. So this is a major point, like be excited about helping them. For network, just the last line here, events, you're doing it. Be active on LinkedIn, on social media, liking, commenting posts, post your opinions. It's important to have a voice. One way to reaching out to veterans is asking for portfolio reviews. So this is a very good intro tips, like, hey man, I met you here and I've been doing my portfolio, would you mind taking a peek? So on that point, when reaching out to veterans, it's important to catch people's attention with cool stuff. So come with a good question. Come with, you know, don't come like, oh, I'm lost, what do I do? And then I'm like, I don't know, like, tell me more about yourself. And then, you know, it's a bit of work doing that. But if someone comes like, hey man, I have this problem, I can see path A and B, what do you think? And it's much easier for me to get engaged with the conversation and, you know, attempt to help. That's it. That's the contact information. And yeah, feel free to reach out. Also for level design, game design stuff, that's mostly what I do. But yeah, let's go for questions if anyone has any. At Soulcraft, we're making PC console games. Our first title is going to be Lo and Behold, is the name of the title. Is action roguelike RPG with isometric camera, where you are an owl fighting against an evil fungi. Yeah, the same camera that League of Legends has, but quite different gameplay.
You mentioned in the portfolio that it's important to document the process of the results. For disciplines, especially like game design, mechanical design, a lot of that is a lot more kind of conceptual, harder to display. How do you recommend working the portfolio around that?
So for game design, I totally get what you're saying. So he's saying that a lot of it is like you just kind of work through the problem and you get to the solution, right? But it's important to like, hey, this is what I had before. I had a double jump, but the double jump didn't really work out because I had to press 5 buttons at the same time because I was shooting and doing other stuff. So we removed the double jump. So the result of the game is like there's no double jump, but it's important that you document that and show your process thought, like why did you think double jump would work, and when did you realize, and did you have play tests and a player hated, you can show a lot of cool stuff that happened during the process. So it's about recording those steps and putting it in the portfolio.
Kind of a follow-up with that, that's okay. You're kind of describing like a lot of text, things like that. How much text is too much? Will a recruiter read through a large description of the game process?
I think take a look at that portfolio. That's fantastic. It's very little text, some squares, lots of images, bullet point. Recruiters are busy, so if you're asking that question, there's too much text.
Yeah, I was wondering, when it comes to like portfolio, like if you work on projects, like how do you do with like balancing like sharing what you did on a project with like NDAs and other stuff?
Well, if you have NDA, you can't show, right? So you gotta work around it and gotta do some game jams, gotta find other people to work with, gotta work on your portfolio alone. Yeah, if you have an NDA, there's really nothing you can do.
Do you have any insight for a game writer who's a recent graduate? Like, how many samples, what kinds of samples are good for a writer portfolio for games?
I don't have a lot of experience with writing, but what I know about writing is the story Bible. So, having a story Bible in there, and I think if I was hiring a writer, I would love to see a lot of game terminology, like seeing that they have the technical language of video games that will really help me in that sense.
Pedro, your Discord is pretty darn awesome. Do you recommend that people engage with companies through that means to bring attention to themselves? Like, don't plug yourself, but like actively engage with content that is being built?
Yes, I think that is great. Like on my previous company, there was a guy that was just a Discord moderator, and out of the blue, he sent me a whole feature document for what a feature that he would like to see in our game. We do open development, so we're Discord, we're just posting everything we're doing, and so this guy sent me a feature design document, and it was great. And I hired him as an intern at the company, and he was doing Discord. He was a moderator in Discord, and I trained him as a game designer, and he landed a job in the industry as a junior game designer for another indie company that I connected with. So definitely, like, make yourself seen, deliver more than you ask for, and that's how you get it. Any more questions? Here.
If you already have a history in television animation and you want to go into game design, would you recommend making an entirely portfolio specifically based on games, or can you incorporate anything you did by your television portfolio?
If you find smart ways to frame it as why did that's the question, right? Why does that experience makes you a good game designer? So that would be an interesting read for me, right? It's like, hey, how do you think, right? What's her process about, like, really transforming that into a portfolio? But I think a portfolio, like having designed a game is definitely mandatory. Like, you gotta do it on your own. You gotta do a couple game jams. You gotta have something. But I still have on my resume stuff that I did when like I was a industrial engineering in Brazil doing like data analytics, and I kept that on my resume because that's the beauty of games. Like everything we do outside, we can bring to games. So keep that on for sure. No more questions. Sorry.